Alright, let's dive into something that's been buzzing in the news lately, and no, it's not just another tech hype cycle. This is about real people, real jobs, and a question that's on everyone's mind: could AI take your job? And while we're at it, let's look at a place where this isn't just a hypothetical: China. Because over there, it's already happening. And the story? It's way more complex than you might think. Here's the hook: imagine you're a taxi driver in Wuhan, China. You've got a family to feed, bills to pay, and suddenly, these driverless taxis, powered by AI, start rolling out. Sounds futuristic, right? But for 45-year-old Yao Xinnong, it's a nightmare. His wages dropped by 40% after these robotaxis hit the streets. And then, in March, something wild happened: the AI-powered cabs just stopped. Malfunctioned. Left passengers stranded. Chaos. But for Yao? It was a temporary win. His income jumped back up as people returned to human-driven taxis. Personally, I think this story is a perfect snapshot of the tension between innovation and livelihood. It's not just about technology failing, it's about the human cost of progress. What makes this really interesting is how China is handling AI. They're not just dipping their toes in, they're diving headfirst. AI is being rolled out at a scale we've never seen in the West. And it's not just taxi drivers who are feeling the heat. White-collar workers, gig workers, even cinematographers like Tian Zemin, who spent years mastering his craft, are seeing their jobs threatened by AI. Tian's story hit me hard. He said, "I thought I would spend my whole life in this industry. But the emergence of AI has made me feel a huge shock for the first time." That's not just a job loss, that's a loss of identity. And it raises a deeper question: what happens when the skills you've spent decades perfecting become obsolete overnight? From my perspective, the real issue here isn't just AI taking jobs, it's the pace of change. Tian mentioned how AI went from creating shonky, weird-looking avatars to producing convincing digital clones in just a year. We're not giving people time to adapt. And that's where China's approach gets fascinating. On one hand, they're pushing AI harder than anyone else. On the other, they're starting to acknowledge the fallout. Xi Jinping called AI a driver for shared prosperity, but even state-run media is now warning about the collision between traditional employment rules and AI. It's like they're playing both sides of the fence, and I'm not sure that's sustainable. One thing that immediately stands out is the power dynamics at play. In China, the government has immense control over the private sector. Analysts say this could help them manage AI-related job losses better than, say, the US. They could enforce hiring quotas or create safety nets. But here's the catch: China doesn't take kindly to public criticism. When a taxi company in Wuhan spoke out against AI automation, they were quickly silenced. So, while the government might be acknowledging the problem, are they really willing to address it? Or is this just lip service? What many people don't realize is that this isn't just a Chinese problem, it's a global one. China's gig economy is massive, with 320 million people in flexible employment. But that's not unique to China. Gig workers everywhere are vulnerable to automation. And if you take a step back and think about it, this isn't just about jobs. It's about power. Who controls the technology? Who benefits from it? And who gets left behind? That's the real question we should be asking. A detail I find fascinating is how some workers are responding. In 2024, Wuhan taxi drivers protested against the rollout of Apollo Go, the driverless taxi service. But news of the protests was censored. People denied involvement. It's like they're caught between a rock and a hard place: they see the threat, but they're powerless to stop it. And that's the tragedy here. It's not just about losing a job, it's about losing your voice. What this really suggests is that we're at a crossroads. AI isn't going away, and it shouldn't. It has the potential to solve some of the world's biggest problems. But if we don't handle it carefully, it could also create new ones. Personally, I think the solution isn't to stop AI, it's to rethink how we integrate it into society. Maybe it's about retraining workers, creating new industries, or even redefining what work means. But one thing's for sure, we can't just leave it to the tech companies or the governments. This is on all of us. So, here's my closing thought: AI isn't the enemy, but unchecked, it could be. The real challenge isn't just preventing job losses, it's ensuring that the benefits of AI are shared equitably. Because if we don't, stories like Yao's and Tian's will become the norm. And that's a future I don't want to see. What about you? How do you think we should navigate this? Let me know in the comments, I'm genuinely curious to hear your thoughts.